All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Raiders Daily. My name is Jackson. I post daily Raiders content, so be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button if you enjoy it. We have new news. Raiders are not expected to pursue Aaron Rodgers. Now we know that after considering making a move for Rodgers, if he were to become available, the Raiders are looking in different directions. Now, this doesn't shock me in the slightest. I still 100% believe Aaron Rodgers will be back in a Green Bay Packer uniform, and yeah, it was a long shot. Now, other news came out yesterday, and the reason I use air quotes for that is because here, let's just get into it. Dave Ziegler says that we might not have an immediate answer at quarterback. Yeah, that was actually it. Now, to my knowledge, this came out like a month ago, several weeks ago, before Tom Brady announced his retirement. So it was a lot earlier in the offseason. And like I said, Tom Brady was rumored to be on the way out. Aaron Rodgers was rumored to be on the way out. Regardless, the Las Vegas Raiders have a lot of holes that they need to fill. I think that's like my second straight video using that terminology. We got to figure something else out. I don't know what the plan is to this because on one side, it was year one of a new management and a new head coach. So, having Super Bowl esque expectations for year one is a little bit unfair. But at the same time, there's a lot of confusion going on because it's like, all right, you trade for Devontae Adams and you acquire all these assets, or you give up all these assets and you acquire the best wide receiver in the National Football League in Devontae Adams. You get Chandler Jones, you extend Darren Waller, Hunter Renfro. You don't pick up Josh Jacobs, fifth year option. There seems to be a lot of stuff being set up for long term success, but also it's like what's going on with the quarterback position. The quarterback spot is the most important position in football. I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but they have their stud players under contract for several more years. It's just the window as more time goes on is going to continue to shrink. The Raiders, as I mentioned, have a bunch of flaws they need to figure out, and a lot of them, almost all of them, actually, outside of the offensive line on the offensive side, are defensive related. So, my thinking is this, and what sucks is Raiders fans have been patient for like 2 decades now. At least 2 decades now, Raiders fans have been nothing but patient, and now it's getting to the point where it's like, all right, we just made the playoffs after firing our head coach midway through the season. We go out and we acquire all this star-studded talent and we win 6 games and trade away our franchise quarterback, who had never not been with the Raiders since he got drafted, in Derek Carr. If you guys go watch this channel, you know how much I love next year's draft. I have concerns with every rookie quarterback that is rumored to possibly go to the Las Vegas Raiders, as there is every year, right? With every quarterback and every player. Bryce Young, I don't think he will be a Raider. I think he'll get picked before then. CJ Stroud, I think he might get picked before number 7 when the Raiders draft as well. So you could actually make the same argument with Will Levis. I'm leaning more towards they're going to take a quarterback. I don't think the Raiders are going to, I don't think they're thinking, I know the New England connection. I don't think they're thinking that Jarrett Stidham is the long term answer. I don't think they're thinking Jimmy Garoppolo is the long term answer. Jacoby Brissett is the long term answer. I think they have a plan and they're sticking to it, and maybe things change. But, even just to address the Derek Carr release, usually when you have a new GM come into town, they do an overhaul of the roster. They pick the guys they want to see and stay, or sorry, stay, and you maybe use that next season to evaluate. And that's why we just saw the Derek Carr release. They're like, all right, he's not the guy. We had a feeling about that. Let's go to our original plan, whatever that case may be. Now, I am hesitant with a lot of the quarterbacks in the league, but like I said, that's kind of how it goes almost every single year, unless there's a guy like Joe Burrow in the draft class or what have you, or it's just his undisputed number 1 pick. I wouldn't complain if Jarrett Stidham was the starting quarterback. I think I would rather personally go with Jarrett Stidham for a full year of starting than I would with a guy like Jimmy G coming to town for a 1-year bridge starter type of season. And if it works, it works. Kind of doesn't fix the long-term plans. And if it doesn't work, all right, well, now we have a loaded top heavy, especially quarterback draft class with almost undisputed at least stars in the league at quarterback position. We'll take our QB and we'll go from there. Like I said, though, this is a very confusing, complicated situation, very complicated matter with a lot of details going into it where it's like, all right, if you were going to do that plan where you're going to take a quarterback next year, if Jarrett Stidham doesn't work out, and who knows, maybe Jarrett Stidham turns into a star. Why'd you trade for Devontae Adams? Why'd you extend Aaron Waller? Why'd you extend Hunter Renfrow? Why'd you acquire an aging, expensive player in Chandler Jones? And I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Nobody knows, right? This is all speculation at this point. The good news is free agency is like a couple of weeks away. And before you know it, the NFL draft will be here and all of our questions will get answered. I just have this gut feeling that the Raiders at 7 are going to take a quarterback. I just have a gut feeling for it. You know, a guy like Will Levis is a name we're starting to see a lot more, and it's a very high risk, but it is a high reward move. So we'll wait and see with that. You know, we've been talking about this for like not even just a month now since the offseason began for the Raiders. We've been talking about this for months and months and months because it was looking more and more as time progressed that Derek Carr wasn't going to be the long-term solution for this Raiders team at quarterback. So there's a lot of ambiguity in the air, you know, a lot of uneasiness, unsettling situation. And it sucks because, like I said, the Raiders fan base, they have been patient for decades now. And there comes a point where it's like, all right, man, we got to figure it out. The good news is, as we see a lot, one great draft where a lot of your rookies hit, get some moves done, maybe some trades, but you sign some players in free agency, and just like that, your team outlook's looking completely different. But obviously, you know, the quarterback situation is the most important. It's the most prevalent. It's the most talked about one. And we'll wait and see what happens. So I know I say this a lot with most of the Raiders videos I'm making right now because it's a big deal. Who the hell is the quarterback next year? I want to hear what you guys have to say. If you had to make your decision right now, it's February 24th. If you had to make your decision right now, if free agency and the draft were the same day and it was tomorrow, what are you doing? Are you re-signing Jarrett Stidham to be your starter for this next year? Are you going to take a quarterback at 7? Who are you going to take? Or are you going for a guy like Jimmy G? Or are you going to try and swing for the fences and possibly make a trade for a guy like Lamar Jackson? Who knows? That's it for today. If you enjoy Raiders content every day, hit the like button, hit that sub button. You guys know what to do. I'll catch you guys later.